So the Xenoblade 3 trailer gave us lots of new information of what the game's going to be like, but there was still so much that wasn't included, which is why today I'm going to go through some of the things that were missing from the Xenoblade 3 trailer. And let's start off with the combat of Xenoblade 3. We got absolutely no information or gameplay on how the combat will work in this game. This is, however, normal for a Xenoblade game's first trailer, as both Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Xenoblade Definitive Edition also showed no combat in their reveal trailers as well. But this still doesn't give us much to work with in terms of speculating how it will work. There are fortunately certain things, however, that we can expect from it, such as auto-attacking when close, using arts and chain attacks, as they have been in every previous iteration of Xenoblade, in one way or another. I have mentioned previously that Takahashi's statement about how they are developing Xenoblade 3 is based upon their successes and failures from the previous games, and because of this we can make a few educated guesses on how certain aspects of the combat are going to work again. The general consensus is that Xenoblade 2's auto-attack system, for instance, is much better than Xenoblade 1's, as shown by this poll that I did recently on my channel, with the main reason that people voted for Xenoblade 1 was for the ability to move whilst auto-attacking. So we may see a system that combines Xenoblade 2's auto-attack system with the ability to move from Xenoblade 1, or we might see combat very similar to Torna, which appears to be the most beloved form of combat from any of the previous games, or it might be completely new and different. We don't know for certain and we'll have to wait till the next trailer to find out, but we will need this combat to be facing the real enemy of the game, which leads us on to the main antagonist of Xenoblade 3. At present, there is no clear villain within the game. All we were shown was the Agnes and the Kivas nation, potentially being led by both Melia and Nia. And whilst I have no doubt in my mind that we will be facing against both of these nations throughout the duration of the game, I personally don't think that Melia and Nia are evil, and don't think that they will be the main enemy of the game, which also appears to be the opinion of this world's fandom. There is likely, however, a very good reason on why these two are fighting, but we are going to talk about that in a little bit. But if the Agnes and the Kivas nation aren't going to be the main enemies in this game, then who is? The first obvious option to me is some enemy relating to the Fog King. Now, many people believe that the Fog works similar to how the Gnosis worked in Xenosaga, and whilst that is definitely a possibility, I also have a few differing opinions. I personally believe that the fog is being created by something or someone, and is more of a tool being used by said person than an actual being with intelligence. Now, the purpose of why they are using the fog like this is unclear to me as well as all of you, as we lack the most important thing: information. My guess, however, is still the same as before and as I've discussed in previous videos. I believe Galea will be the one behind the source of the fog. I also believe that Galea will be tied into the Ouroboros symbols on the party members, as she may be going through an infinite cycle of reincarnation, which is of course what that symbol represents. I am, however, going to talk more on this topic in a future prediction video, so you'll have to wait till then to find out more. And speaking of, let's go to a topic which I teased in a previous video, and that is Telethia. Telethia were a crucial part of Xenoblade 1, and it will make sense that they will be in Xenoblade 3 as well, but they were nowhere to be seen within the trailer. Assuming that once again 100 years have passed, then there may actually not be any Telethia left. And this could be down and due to Teelan's and Tyrea's research. They were attempting in Future Connected to figure out a way to turn Telethia back into true-blooded Hyentia, and it is possible that they have already achieved this goal and turned every Telethia back into a Hyentia. However, I don't think that has actually happened just yet. There was no evidence of any Hyentias having longer wings than normal, and that's why I believe that they will currently all be trapped still in their Telethia bodies. What we do know about Telethia, however, is that they feed off of ether by absorbing it within their own bodies, as can be seen in Machna Forest when that one Telethia absorbed all of the ether and drained all of the life from the surroundings, and that could cause cause certain issues for the Aegis Nation. All of their technology is based around ether, and Blade's bodies are primarily composed of ether. So basically, a blade is a Telethia's favourite food. And this may just be part of the reason that the Xenoblade Nation and the Aegis Nation are within conflict of one another. The Xenoblade Nation would likely want to protect the Telethia until Telin has finished his research, as after all, they are Melia's brethren, whereas the Aegis Nation would want them all destroyed to prevent themselves from becoming food for the Telethia. However, at the same time, this might not be the main reason that they're at war with each other, and may just be one minor reason that the two nations are fighting one another. And speaking of blades, we're also missing the other half of the puzzle in terms of their existence, which is of course drivers. Since the release of the trailer and with all the information that has came out since the recording of this video, there is no evidence to suggest that drivers even exist in this new world, which is a little confusing as they're supposed to be necessary to create blades in the first place. Do keep in mind though, however, we saw very little of the Aegis Nation in general and have very little idea on how their technology actually works, and so there could be a really simple solution as to why we haven't seen any drivers yet. At present, I think that all blades might be birthed as flesh eaters by using cells from humans who have the aptitude to awaken core crystals, and this could explain a great deal many things, such as how Senna and Mio, for instance, have ages. Blades are not supposed to age normally on their own, and hence the use of ages is kind of pointless. But Monolith has already confirmed and revealed that Senna and Mio are 18 and 19 years old, meaning that there must be some sort of difference and change now from how they worked in Xenoblade 2. And it would make a lot of sense considering that Nia appears to be in control of the Aegis Nation and she is a flesh eater. We also have to consider Tyon, who is the biggest mystery out of all of the party members. Very little is known about him and we have no evidence as of yet to prove that he is a blade, and so he could be an example of what a driver is like now. We will however have to wait and see if blades are going to work like they did in Xenoblade 2, or if something like the Aegises has had an effect on how they grow. Which leads us nicely onto the final point of this video, which is of course about Alvis and the Aegis. I've already stated previously that both Alvis and Numa are likely to still be around for Xenoblade 3, as both are easily capable of surviving for that length of time. And I personally think that they will have quite an impact of the story of Xenoblade 3, even if they aren't directly tied into it. I imagine that both Alvis and Numa will likely be very important figures in both the Xenoblade and Aegis Nation, and there may even be tribute to the both of them in each of those nations. Whether or not they will actually appear in the story of Xenoblade 3, I don't know, but I do think that they're still going to be very important within it. And those were just some of the things that weren't included in this latest Xenoblade 3 reveal trailer. I'm sure over the coming months that many of these things will be either confirmed or denied by Monolith, either through information that they release or through new and upcoming trailers. So for now, all we can really do is wait and see what happens. Before this video ends though, I just want to give a massive shout out and thank you to all of the new subscribers that have recently clicked that button in the last few days. We've gained around 150 new subscribers in a little under 2 weeks, and honestly it's amazing, so thank you all of you. And if you're someone here who hasn't decided to click that button yet, then feel free to do so and join the crew. But until next time guys, peace.